It's really easy to get caught up in the hype around certain Pokemon cards, but by the time you buy in, you're usually the one left holding the bag. So I thought I'd start a series where I break down exactly what cards I think are worth buying right now and ones that I would pass on. Being that I'm an electric Pokemon lover and Pikachu is my favorite Pokemon, I thought it was appropriate to call the series Pikachu or Pass. Alright, let's get started with our first card of the series. Let's talk about the Snorlax promo from the 151 ETB.
Whoa, it's huge! It's a Snorlax!
And I'm talking about the regular 151 ETBs, not the Pokemon Center exclusives. So as of today, April 6, 2026, this card is sitting at around $26 market value. If you would have bought this card a year ago, congratulations, you have probably more than doubled your money. About a year ago, you used to be able to find this card for anywhere from like $9 to $10. Even as recent as just a few months ago, you could find this card for $12 to $15. But then about a month or so ago, 151 was being taken out of vending machines, and we saw a spike in all 151 cards. We saw the Zard shoot up to, I think, like $500 or $600. The Charmander and Squirtle from the set went up to like $100 to $120 a piece. Pretty much everything in 151 was going up. This card went up too, but not as drastically as all the rest of the cards in the set. Now, a lot of those cards have rebounded slightly in their price, but they have not dropped back down to where they were before the spike. I think they are just settling at a new level of normal for the market price. And so I think that's something to cue in on with this card, is it did not see the spike that all the rest of the cards did from the set. And when you consider the actual card, it is a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's Snorlax, wildly popular Pokemon, and it's from one of the, if not arguably, the most popular sets of the modern era. And then fourthly, it's from an ETB that is extremely hard to get your hands on. If you look at the price of the ETBs, they're, I think, at like $500 to $600 for just the regular ETB. And so, in my opinion, the price of the promo itself does not match up with the price of the box. I think another card we could compare it to kind of get an idea of what the price, in my opinion, should look more like is the Charmander promo from Obsidian Flames. When you compare box prices, the Obsidian Flames ETB, I think, is like $400 for just the regular ETB. And the price of the promo is sitting around like $65 to $70 for just the normal non-Pokemon Center stamped ETB. And you could argue that is because it's Charmander. Charmander's more popular because he's a starter. And also Charmander has the connecting art with the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. But I think the Snorlax promo is being slept on, and that's full pun intended. There's still lots of great buying opportunities. I've found, even in the last couple weeks, plenty of copies of this card in people's binders, still at like $17 and $18. My general rule for this card right now is if I see it at $20 or below, it's an automatic buy. And for all of these reasons, I would say that this card is a Pikachu. All right, this next card, we're gonna keep it short and sweet. Being that this is the first video of this series, we had to go with a Pikachu card. The specific Pikachu card I am referring to is this year's Pokemon Day Collection Box promo, the Pikachu with the 2026 Pokemon Day stamp on it. To me, this is kind of a no-brainer. It's Pikachu, it's a promo, it's stamped. You can get them really cheap right now. I think market is like $250 on them, but you can find them in large quantities. I bought 40 the other night from somebody. So this card's available. You would need a lot of them for it to really move the needle, but I think it's something fun to do, to collect as many of these promos as you can. I did the same thing last year with the Eevee promos. I'm doing the same thing this year with the Pikachu promos. I think it'll be more of a long-term hold situation, but even if you spent a few $100 on them at $2 a piece this year and held them till next year and they go up to $5 or $6, you've already more than doubled and possibly tripled your money. So this one to me is kind of a no-brainer. It is undoubtedly a Pikachu. All right, and for our last card, we're actually going to be talking about multiple cards at once. I am referring to the illustration rares from the First Partner illustration collections. Right now, the only ones that are available are from Series 1. It's Gen 1, 4, and 7 of the starter Pokemon. People are going crazy over these cards, and rightfully so. I think they look super cool. However, I don't think it's a good buy right now. I've had multiple people bring me these cards when I was vending shows over the last month, and I've passed on them. Like I said, I think they're super cool, but I think it's one of those things where it's kind of in a FOMO stage right now, and I don't really want to buy into the hype and then end up holding the bag when Pokemon inevitably mass prints these things and the cards end up going from $30 a piece down to $5 a piece. I think the Gen 1 Pokemon are sitting right around $30 right now. The other ones I think are significantly cheaper. I think they're around like $10 a piece. But still, if it's anything like they've done with celebrations in the past, I think this is a box that they're going to absolutely print into the ground, and you're going to be able to find these cards everywhere. So for now, these cards for me are going to be a pass. What do you guys think? I could be wrong about some of these, but these are cards that I'm seeing all the time when I'm vending and buying collections. I wanted to start the series with some lower end cards to show you that you don't need a PSA 10 Moonbryon or a base set Shadowless Charizard in near mint condition to build up your collection and start making smart moves. But if there's a card that you feel strongly about that I didn't mention, be sure to let me know in the comments. And if this helped you out, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. And remember, cards are cool and business is good, but nothing is more important than your relationship with Jesus Christ. He loves you. Stay grounded, and I'll see you next time.